I'm Prime from K2S. I was born and raised here in Los Angeles. When I was young, I had asthma. Asthma doesn't allow you to run and stuff like that, so a lot of the times I had to entertain myself by just doodling or stuff like that. I think that's what fueled more of like what I do now, you know? Maybe when I was young, I ran into a small little cement carving, you know, and saw some design that I thought, I didn't even know there were letters. I started mimicking that maybe. Most of the stuff that I saw was gang graffiti, and that influenced me to be writing on the walls or, you know, mimicking that stuff. See, when I went to the Radiotron, sort of underground club, a man by the name of Carmelo Alvarez, he sort of introduced me into a lot of more conventional things to work on, like canvas and panels and stuff like that. And him introducing me to some people in the Otis Art Institute, I got to see a lot of people that were professionally working with art. Not necessarily what we were doing at that time, that sort of East Coast graffiti was not very well looked upon, you know? I mean, they just saw it as defacing property and stuff like that. A lot of it is defacing property, but my friend Carmelo, he didn't see it like that. He saw more of a very new upcoming form of art because there wasn't really anything else to look at, you know, besides the black and white graffiti from gangs and stuff like that. That might have really been something that pushed us along to using more color in what we did. See, in the beginning, we tried going out at nighttime. Of course, we always figured that would be the best time. We'd end up drinking and just partying most of the time off of it. After a few times of doing that and getting either chased or cops or gangs, because we had to always look out for both, you know. We figured out that if we just target a certain building or structure or something during the day, we could be able to execute the pieces because nobody would start questioning it. So a lot of the stuff that we did, we sort of did it on an early morning or something, whereas people thought that we had permission. We hardly ever got anyone asking any questions because they were more interested in seeing what we were doing. They were more, you know, in awe about us just working with the spray paint and stuff like that. So it's kind of funny, you know, that turned out that way, you know. Yeah, when I was about 17, there was incident that happened when a few friends of mine and I were it was Valentine's early evening, and we was just hanging out by some back of the buildings by Belmont High School, and I'm waiting for my girlfriend to come out of school so I can surprise her because I had been incarcerated for a month or two, and I was released the night before, so I'm about to go and just say, you know, Happy Valentine's. And what ended up happening was that I got interrupted by these two young men that came, and I got shot a couple of times from one of the assailants with a shotgun, and then the other guy also with a handgun shot me several times. I received the large amount of the bullets on my arm because of me having to trying to cover myself. So I thought, well, you know, I'm gonna lose my arm, which is the one I use for painting, you know. Fortunately, the doctors, they were able to put me back, and I still was disabled for a little bit with that, but I sort of, you know, thought about, well, you know, it's just a muscle, you know, I mean, I can be able to paint with my left hand if possible, you know. I mean, if I still want to continue with this, so I now paint with both, I guess you could say. A great deal of it did change me in the sense of I had to sort of reinvent my whole style or ability to paint. You know, I wasn't able to do all these more fine lines and little just perfections that you feel that you were able to do. I learned to embrace my calamity. Whenever I'm doing something and something doesn't go my way, instead of looking at it as a mistake, I look at it as more of an opportunity to develop something. So that's what I'm looking for, you know. The Getty project, it's called Getty Black Book or Liber Amicorum, which is a book of friends in Latin. A friend of mine by the name of Ed Sweeney had a small little meeting with one of the coordinators there at the Getty Research Institute, and he was trying to see if, you know, they would be interested in archiving some of these books that he was presenting to them, or to get more attention to it or something. He was trying to see what they might be interested in. Funny thing is that my good friend Kevin Hashizumi and David, we had been working on a small black and white reference book with some referencing to some of the lettering that we first did when we were younger. And it sparked up a little interest in what the coordinator was looking at. She wanted to see if she could meet us and maybe have us come in and check out some of the books that they had there from the 1800s, 1400s, something like that. These really rare and very ancient books that had like Leonardo da Vinci's sketch. I think and some of them had like recipes for medicine, you know, even recipes for paint, creating ink and stuff like that, or just little landscapings of the time then. They're really interesting. They offered us a project where we would enter some of our art in there as part of this book collection. So what we did was we set out to collect different artwork from several people around the city. We got about maybe 150 artists. In the end, we had to do a cover for it. They asked me to do the cover, and I think I must have done like maybe 100 different forms of LAs. In the end, I sort of came up with one that I thought looks best to me. I sort of thought, you know, maybe if I do another 100 more, I can get a better one, you know. But it didn't turn out that way, you know. I think that from that one project, it opened a lot of doors for us. I remember thinking, wow, you know, I mean, this is really important, you know. I mean, the Getty Institute and just to be in the archives is really just an amazing thing, you know. I mean, yeah, sometimes I develop a few, I guess, non-existing tools, or if you will. I think it stems from when we did graffiti and painting with spray paint. We had to look for different tips, different nozzles for the spray cans. Sometimes we had to cut our own through, you know, the caps that came, or, you know, we used some of the WD-40 caps, you know, just anything that could give us a different effect with the spray paint. You know, at the time when I was younger, I was a big advocate for it, and it's just the painting tool of the future or something. I thought I wasn't too much into the brush until later on. Because of the shooting, I wasn't able to use my arm as well with the spray paint. So I sort of adopted the brush And so with the brush came along, certain things that I wanted to do, maybe larger strokes of paint, and at times some of them, you know, they're not existing. I'm looking towards mops or maybe brooms, maybe to get a certain effect. Certainly I can get a larger effect with it, and I know that it has a larger impact maybe, you know, I mean, seeing something in a broad and larger, bold manner, it blows people away, you know. Well, if someone wants to find me, I mean, they could go to the OGallery, you know, where my new latest pieces are at. Look me up on Instagram under Prime K2S. For new things coming, you know, I want to get a book together or something. I know it's been sort of difficult for me to sort of just concentrate on one thing and following it all through. But who knows how the world is going to be now.